I'm really hesitant to start this video. At least we got the Ravenclaw portal across the abyss opened up, so that brings in a whole new energy. It used to be where I would have to diverge dimensions and frequencies, so I'd have to leave Earth Star to access my higher energy. Where I call it splinching dimensions or something of that nature. Being a star being, you'd have access to all those higher lights and higher energies. Well, now through the bottom of the Clipith and through Earthstar, those spaces should be opening up. If they're not open up all the way for you, it's because you're not in the same star system as I am, although I am continuing to bridge, you're not from the same star system. But you should still feel the higher dark feminine, the divine dark feminine coming through. So this is really to open up the high indigo energy, to really bring in God. And when I mean God, it's goddess, way before God. And then we go, oh, but God includes goddess. So God without goddess is not God, you know? So this should be counteracting. Just this portal opening should be countering most of the Slytherin energy on the planet. At least the Slytherin protocols, where it's like you get angry at somebody and you just send them knives. So those are old reptile programs in the brain. So now we are going to be cleaning up all of it. The amount of torture I've gone through over the last decade is 12 years. Is severe. Star is complicit. Elijah was complicit. He is tempering a lot. The Dalai Lama was complicit. He enables it. Spielberg was complicit. Everybody's complicit, although Spielberg didn't get us angry, you know. It's really gross and demonic. It's people who are alphas, or think they're a boss or an authority of some kind of matter. When they get angry, they're gonna punish you. And they'll do it with violence, so you stay afraid. It's not Star's angel side that I'm afraid of, you know? It's her demon. I was finally asked by the Tara today if I was being, fucked up by these people, and the answer is yes. Daily. Not just to mention daily, it's like vampiric almost. It's all day long, every single day. And I'm exhausted having to fight them off. Through this process, there is one silver lining, which is me getting knowledge of people's brain systems. That's not an excuse. That's not God's plan. There are 8 billion people on this planet with demon brains that I'm going to have to figure out how to rewire into angels so that they don't get angry and then start psychically throwing knives at people. And then somehow those knives manifest out of thin air. Wait, nope, just the astral energy is enough. Just the astral energy creates harm and is a form of black magic, which will be considered illegal and punishable. Especially constant black magic like that will be considered like a death warrant, you know? That's Voldemort. Star is Voldemort. But because her light side doesn't understand her shadow side, she somehow thinks that it's an excuse. Again, God kept on calling her Ursula for a reason. I didn't understand. This is how you know the difference between a teacher and an oppressor. A teacher has instruction and intelligence and tools. Star has, in the astral plane, given me almost none of those. And as I progress through the tree, diminishes more and more as a teacher and just as an oppressor. So as I keep on climbing, Star becomes dumb and just an attacker because I start receiving all my information from God. Anti-knife rape protocols. Innocence, if you can master innocence, you're a master. That's more powerful than power. So it doesn't matter how many tumors she pops off of people. I am 100 times more masterful than her in every way, maybe 1,000,000, because of my innocence. My mastery is in karma clearing, which is a much higher magic than anything she has ever produced at all. So she has no authority. None. It's the only reason why I was able to deal with Lucifer and the dragons without them eating me. Innocence. This is why they're the Ravenclaw. Like, there is no such thing as a Ravenclaw muggle. If you're innocent enough and smart enough and clear enough, you just climb the tree. Real easy. Straight into intelligence, power, and witchdom. Innocence is more important than any money you could ever have. Ever. So this is the Cinderella understanding. So I hear other people coming in, it's a Cinderella complex. You see that energy? It's a Cinderella complex. They don't have the Cinderella energy. They have this evil stepsister energy. Real Cinderellas are hard-ass workers. And are like, I'm here to clean up God's messes all day long, every day, with no reward. All right. Hermetic seals and anti-knife rape protocols. So there are a couple things about the Modern Mystery School which I have failed to give to you guys. Here is the appropriate time to give them. One is the hermetic seals through the room. So when you dragon up your home, you now will go through your rooms and do the hermetic seals ritual. This creates a system of order and intelligence and activation within your brain that it's easy for me to go, get innocent. And because you've built that daily ritual, your energy field is really easy for me to mutate. When I do that with the mystery school right now, as I'm trying to encapsulate them into a higher elevated egg, it's easy. I'm trying to do that with Stars right now, and she just refuses. Like somehow she's divergent from God's systems. So she acts like a demon, and she has no order or system or logic or order. It's just chaos. It's all force and no form. And that leaves her shadow side unchecked, because all the shadow is on the pillar of form and severity, which the mystery school might keep themselves not as powerful and kind of muggly, but their energy field is upscalable real fast in the higher divine. You know why? Mental discipline training. Obedience. So they force themselves to the same ritual every day, no matter how bored they are. Over and over and over, like brick, 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 brick. And it breaks through their egos. It's pretty easy. Those So even when they don't want to, even when they're sick, even when they're hurt, even when they're injured, it's real easy for me to take that module and go, dragon egg, right around it. Boom, boom, boom. Here's a honeycomb seal. Oh my God, your guys' energy isn't cray cray. So, Hermetics. Hermetics includes the entire tree. Not just the pillar of mercy or the pillar of force, which is the crazy, and then Slytherin, it's the crazy femme. In Ravenclaw, it's the high order femme, because it also includes Bina. So high order. Higher order than you could ever imagine. Every thought being of divine obedience. So we will go through a couple of the statements in the mystery school that I have not given to you guys yet, that you guys need, because it's an agreement that you have with yourself. So we will have that activation. We will be doing the sacred gridding with the hermetic seals and activations. And this is their sacred geometry class 1. I want to say it's a little bit like the light language. Now, I always thought that the mystery school had a lot of things that the Mayan lineage did not, including structure. That was the key. It was structure, order, organization, and clear boundaries. Good system. It also was not like, goodney goodnessin's school of light. It's all mine. No, it was a principle. Kind of like how I'm going to name Sora, Sora. It doesn't matter if it's like I'm alive or in it, you know. It's not mine. It belongs to everybody in a community. Star, on the other hand, created the Mayan lineage, which was all force. They have huge magic, a lot of intelligence, but not good. There was nothing organized there. Nothing. It was all chaos. The plans, but it was not boring. And it offered some juice and charisma and like zest. So they kind of operated off of two sides of the same tree. Teresa could use a lot more of that netsuck, and Star could use a lot more of that hode. So we will also be doing the genetics, the genetic engineering So there's the other component of the mystery school's DNA class versus Star's lineage DNA class. Opposite, but the same, but opposite. There's so much ego in both of those lineages. So much that they don't even know each other. And they don't even love each other. And that's probably the grossest thing of all. And me, being poor and homeless and living in my car, learned how to pay for both of these schools. It's pretty disgusting. Hermetic seals. The anti-knife rape protocol has to do with both the hermetic seals and the statements, but also the genomes we will be activating, especially when you see knife rapists. In the astral planes, physical, the mental to me is just the astral. So let's start with the agreements. When we set our space in the mystery school, when we do our sacred circle, our magic circle, if you're even doing just a daily magic circle, this is good. When you set your egg, it's good. Because our egg is our magic circle, and that's fine. It's when we connect to the elements and we bring them in. Okay? It is the statement, it is by will alone that I set my mind into motion. That means there is nothing in your mind that is coming anything other than God's will. That is saying, I am surrendering my mind to God's will. So say it. And it's Rowena Ravenclaw and hire that kind of God's will. Okay? Not crazy dogma. It is by will alone that I set my mind in motion. Now, I want you to see a little wire wrapping in your pituitary gland. And it will go through 2 holes in a clockwise momentum. And then it will open a blue and turquoise butterfly into your brain. So you might have seen some of the images on Facebook with Yoda and the butterfly. It's that butterfly. And you let it start emanating that magic. And it has some black on it too. So it's that Ravenclaw butterfly. So this is your agreement. One side is like, my mind is good. And on the left side, it leaves behind the not good, or the not great, or the not divine. It is by will alone that I set my mind into motion. You might even see the butterflies flapping their wings. Now, it will also hook into the pineal. And then claw in. And then around the pineal gland, it will be a pearl, a pearl goo. That pearl goo is highest karmic good. There is nothing about knife rape. There is nothing about those kind like violent crimes, or sex crimes. There is nothing about any of those things that is highest karmic good at all. You cannot rationalize that behavior as it's an action to create the highest karmic good for anybody. This is different than being a Robin Hood and stealing from the poor. Or wait, the rich. They're poor to me because they're gonna. Do you get it? It's you can steal from the banking systems and from the royal families and go feed homeless people. That's not the same. There is highest karmic good in that. That's pragmatic. There is no twisting like divine consciousness. If you start seeing the pearl tears coming down your face, that's a new activation too. Okay, so it is by will alone that I set my mind into motion. I will obey God's law. You might see the DNA going down your spine, like little metal claws, and then with the pearlescent goo, going all the way to your root chakra. Maybe to your feet, maybe to your toes. This is also an agreement with yourself that if you have any stray thoughts, energy, you will do your best. You will do your best to send any knives into the lava. And even at the worst, if you do hurt anybody, that you will send them days worth of honeycomb and marshmallow and honeycomb. Days. And then you might even set an altar temple or write a grid for them with more honeycomb salve. You can also do aloe honeycomb. That is a good healing salve as well. So it's a light cream, minty cream with cucumber and aloe, and it's with the honeycomb too. So that works as well. This would be really good to do with your children and installing these devices and this teaching with your kids, with your friends' kids, or your kids' friends. Both. With your friends. So spread the knowledge. It's also good to do on other people when you need to do self-defense. And you need to install it on them because they won't do it themselves. Here's the thing about it being a demon. They will do everything it takes to not watch this video. They will do everything it takes to not get this healing. Even if it's free. Yeah, it's not about the money, you know? It's about them wanting their free will to create violent crime. Which Mother Earth is going to get really sick of real fast. Because it's the definition of narcissism, you know? All right. The next thing we want to install is an Octopus Heart. So we put one here. at our third eye. We always remember that our heart, the octopus heart, orca brain. Okay, the next one goes at our appendix. You should start seeing an octopus. This creates a divergence of logic, so you don't get trapped into binary logic systems. So it goes, oh, the demon says, like, there is no dark without light, stuff like that. Those are tricks and traps to enable you into dark behavior, into not divine into divine subordinance instead of into divine high intelligence. So those binary logic traps are the worst, you know? That's like, that rationalizes almost all of anybody's bad behavior. There are 100,000 of them. So the octopus heart goes, no, there's no such thing as binary logic without an octopus heart. There's no such thing as binary logic, infinite, in infinity, without a high self-defense intelligence that bypasses matrix systems and goes into divergence. And then you're gonna implant another octopus heart, maybe here, or your high heart. Gryffindor. Maybe goes in the justice path. I want to say my high heart's here and not here, but this says it's like, if you get caught in karma traps that you have to go through torture realms of hell, that all you have to say is octopus heart instead of going through the realms of hell. Like, you're freed. We've cleaned out the realms of hell. And that's my job. That's what makes me Khaleesi. And it's Lucifer's job and the dragon's job to make sure that we get it done. Now when I ask you guys for your help to burn it, that's your job. When I say throw cobra acid, your job. Because I need help. All right. That's where divine obedience comes in. All right. The next is, it is by will alone that I set my lungs into motion. That means I don't even take a breath. Or that like God's breathing, or goddess is breathing. This might attune you to the new oxygen frequencies coming in on the planet, because they are high intelligence. You might see the indigo sparkly light coming through the lungs, and it might get cold and chilly. And then I go, it is also by will alone that I set my mind in motion. But I do it through the stomach and through the intestines, through Slytherin. So that way it keeps the Slytherin out. And then it might be little metal trees growing into your intestines and then turning into goo to repair any of the damage done with all that protegototalum stuff. The protegototalum pearly glue. And it might turn into that honeycomb. So then it starts to clear out any of the dark magic spells through your intestines. And then we want to do the colon. So it is by God's will alone. That includes goddess. It is by will alone that I set my mind into motion. That's the lower mind. Well, your gut bacteria. Then you want to see it pooping through your rectum all the way down. Now there's another technology we need to communicate. There's a logic trap. Like me saying, I am you. So if I am you, then I can possess you. I can take over your body because it's mine. Star's done a lot of this in her shadow work. And Dalai Lama too. It's gross. That pineal needs to grow up and then grow into the 8th chakra for higher individuality. And then you'll see it, and then you might see it branch out into more, and then it creates a halo. Oh, look, I'm actually an angel now. And then we're going to create 2 more halos. So we could climb up, and now we hit the divine feminine chakra. Plug in. It's usually silvery pearl. And then it branches out, and then might create another halo. And now that first halo starts glowing. This is anti-black magic. Now, one more. It grows all the way up into a golden pearl. I don't do colors without the pearl. And then it branches out. And then it might be that liquidy golden light. Halo. Oh my goodness. We've opened up the Gryffindor Nexa. We've barely begun the Ravenclaw Nexa. That's what's coming through. We sent Lucifer across the abyss, but that's not the Ravenclaw Nexa. That's exciting. That's just a gateway. So we can finish Gryffindor. So that's God's charm. Like lowers the bar so that it's like, oh, can we imagine the amount of intelligence and gratitude and space opening that's going to be happening once we open the Ravenclaw Nexa? That's going to be huge. You see? God's charm. So, it is by will alone that I set my mind into motion. You should say this once a day. And if you want to do any of these reactivations, it is not a bad idea. But maybe you should turn on the genome for the angel wing. It is by will alone that I set my mind into motion. Boom. It is not by will alone that I set my mind into motion. Boom. Turn that one off. We are leaving it behind. Now, when I do those angel wings for the genomes, I see many wires pop out. Like one wire, like for each feather, like a bone. So, on each end of the wire, I put crystals to lock them so that demon behavior doesn't unlock them. This has happened a lot in my psychic attack. So we're going to put angel light. It is by will alone that I set my mind in motion. A bunch of those feathers and wires pops out, and then you put angel light at the tips of all of them. And it might start getting heavy, actually. You might actually... there are times where we're like, whoa, that's God saying we're getting the real wings coming in. All right, and then it is not by will alone that I set my mind into motion. And then we can send all those wires, and then angel light locks. Yeah, that one's starting to... that one has a curl open with the angel light. So we get a lot of the like the psychic feedback that goes, I have no problems on this planet. You know what I do with that statement? I throw it out the window because I've never seen it be true. I've only seen more psychic attack that I have to find ways to solve problems around. So I will agree to it, but also like throw it in the bucket. Does that invite more psychic attack? The Dalai Lama is coming through going, that's just as he's going to attack me now. No respect for God's law, dude. None. All right, now we're going to do it again. I like how he does this to interrupt my video like a vampire. It is by will alone that I set my mind into motion. And then another layer of wings come through, and we're going to put angel aura on the locks. And same on the other side. It is not by will alone that I set my mind into motion. And then angel aura on the tips of every wire. Okay. So this is like, my mind belongs to God. The next type of crystal, rainbow lattice sunstone. I don't know why yet. I think there's a crossing of the abyss thing going on there. So rainbow lattice sunstone, open up. It is by will alone that I set my mind in motion. And then it's like that rainbow serpentine crystal too. So sometimes I'll lock it with two pieces. And then I go, oh. No, it is not by will alone that I set my mind into motion. Leave that behind. Then I lock those feathers and those wires. All right. So these are another form of the hermetic seals, is to do the wings with the locks on them. And if you want to paint the locks down your spine, that's a good idea too. A demon cannot get into the frequency of angel light or angel aura. So they cannot reverse your wings. Now this came through first when I was under huge psychic attack from Star. And it was like, I'm letting her in. And I need to make sure like I have a way to start going, I am not letting her in. Or I'm not letting them in. And I turn that on. And what would happen is that over the course of a number of days, that genome was flipped. Like they had access to change my genome structure against my will. And I needed to like figure out a solution to start locking it. It was pretty fucked up. Yeah. Make sure that they don't, like you make sure that that they're gonna let you in so you can fuck them up. Just more rape. So, I am not letting them in. Turn on. And then you lock it with the angel light. If you want to do another layer with higher dimensional frequencies, and you can do angel aura. I'm not letting them in. So like, let's say one's a 49 level, and then the next one's a 144 level. The angel aura. I also like fire agate. I'm not letting them in. Fire agate. I also like, I'm not letting them in. Tiger eye. And then the tiger eye starts to show me where I might still be letting people in. And probably in a way of grace. There's also Aziz Too Light. And that's the Jesus crystal as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not letting them in. Aziz Too Light. That one would be like on the 2736 level. And then I am letting them in. Now, just because this might suck does not entitle them to attack you. So your defenses as you progress psychically need to get stronger. It's like a martial artist that doesn't know how, like, because he's weak, and then he gets slaughtered because he's weak. Those people are bullies. I'm letting them in. I'm letting them in. So, angel light, I'm letting them in. Leaving behind, angel aura. I am letting them in. So we still have to take responsibility for ourselves, right? We have to do this work. But we can always ask for help. And we can work as a team. I'm letting them in. And fire agate. And I am letting them in. And then we go, what was the one after? Tiger eye. And then next level, I'm letting them in. Aziz Too Light. Now I have other couple crystals that I don't really want to share, but you might get the psychic download. And if you want to know them, and I approve, because I have seen that you do not actually psychically attack people, I will probably give you the codes. So you can just send me an email. Please let me know what you use. Okay. This should already begin to dramatically reduce the ability for them to get in. It's not 100%, but it is like 60 to 70%. And that's enough. I'm trying to get it to 100%. That's the goal. My goal in life is to make sure that there is no violent astral crime on this planet at all. Zero. Not in the mind, not in the intentions, not in the underworld, nothing. High magic. Okay. Now, so we do the angel wings with letting them in. Now we have to deal with the other party. First and foremost, you should know that your dragons need these genomes to be turned on. All of them. So if you have 50 dragons, you need to turn them all on. Same dragons, or same protocol on all of your dragons. And make sure that all of it's working. You need to learn how to take care of your dragons. Now, you also need to do it to your children, your friends. This is a healthy boundaries. If you want to turn on healthy boundaries and then have the angel light and the angel aura, that's a good one too. Not healthy boundaries. Angel light, angel aura. You might want to do it in your home too. So all the energy going this way is healthy boundaries. All the energy leaving behind is not healthy boundaries. That's like doing the genome switch in the middle of your egg. So that central column should have like a genome because it's a spine. So it's a high magic that you can create. So we're also turning on healthy boundaries on Mother Earth. And then not healthy boundaries on leaving Mother Earth, leaving behind. Okay. All kids, all guides, all dragons. All kids, all guides, all dragons. So your guides need this. They need to be protected. Your dragons, your kids. Now, the next. I have 3 or 4 for the attackers. There's about 5 main components of dealing with the attacker. 1, they don't respect God's boundaries. If they are astrally attacking, that is a direct descent of God. Descent from God, it's not of God. So the astral planes are supposed to be filled with divine light, not astral stabs. So they have no respect for God's boundaries. So the first thing you need to do is turn on respect of God's boundaries on your attacker, and then lock it with angel light, and then do another wing with angel aura. And then we go up, not respect God's boundaries, leave behind. You can do this after for yourself, but this is protocol when you're under attack. You take care of them first. Respect God's boundaries. And then do the angel aura. Respect God's boundaries. They do not get to choose to be a demon on an ascension planet. I mean, they get to choose to be a demon, but they are not, it's against the law to attack people. So instead of that, like, if you watch the On Demons video and you go, you're just asking for it, demon. This is the reverse. This is the you're asking for it, angel. It's like a demon that comes to attack you. They're asking to be turned into dust or into an angel. They're asking for it. Now, there is a trap there, and it's a demon trap. Like a demon using you to go through an alchemical process. They will receive no reward from it, so you do not need to worry. You might need to worry with your ego getting in the way, go like, fuck, I'm turning on all these genomes and I'm not getting paid. But you can humiliate them online. Because they didn't do God's work. If you humiliate me online, I might be upset, but I'll forgive you. If you're like sending counter spells to like, and then there's that component, and we'll get there at the end of this video. But there is the demon trap of like, I don't want you guys to do my work for me. So usually I tend, if I'm offering a teaching or a video, it's work I've already done, or I'm doing it in the video with you. So you don't have to do it on me. And you should be able to write me an email. I offer guidance and instruction. It's not as a form of humiliation. It's a form of, even writing me an email is going to humiliate me. So just know that you have the power to humiliate me by telling me that this, and this genome are turned off and they need to be turned on. Know that. I'd prefer that humiliation, and I'll work on it. I do 40,000+ hours of this, so I'll still have blind spots, but like my brain is like, oh, Lucifer tells me 50 things that are wrong. I have no ego. I just fix them. Okay, so the respect God's boundaries. Obey God. So this one's the Gebra and the other's the Hesed component. So they don't respect, nor do they obey. So now you need to turn on the obey God component. So you look at your attacker and you go, obey God. And then you send the wings. And then remember, it's goddess God. It's like higher God, you know. Obey God. Obey divine law. And then set those angel wings with angel light. There's nothing wrong with putting wings and then going angel light. That's like highest karmic good magic. And then we go not obey God and then turn them off. That one's easier. And then put the angel light alt locks. Also do the angel aura. All right, the next thing is the clown demon. Anybody who wants to send you knife rape or stab you, or especially if you're doing nothing, okay, like other than just, you know, living, or trying to teach or create like a new world of divine ordinance. A lot of the time they're going to attack you because you're challenging their system and they're possessive because they're Slytherins. So what they're carrying this thing called the clown demon. And what they're going to do is they're going to make fun of you. Oh my God, you think you're better than me? Because you're innocent? Because you starved to death on a beach for whales? I'm a giant master that makes millions of dollars and can pop tumors off of people. What can you do? And so they try to take over you and like diminish you completely. So yeah, Star and Brooke do this real intensely. And they do this just so they can stab you when you start to like raise up in the tree. So I don't get that much stabbing energy from Brooke, but the clown demon. So they do this, and then they make fun of you, and then they stab you, and they go, ha ha, it's just fun and games. It's just fun and games. To like make you think you didn't actually just get stabbed. It's just light. It's just the astral. Ha ha. And then they pretend to be love and light. Yeah, that's a clown demon. All right. All knife rapers and all stabbers and all psychic rape, all of it, turn off their clown. Because they operate off of the idea that because it's funny, they're allowed to do it, and that there's a sense of light and humor around it. So there's no reverence in it. So it's not light. It's not Tiferet, which is reverence. So it's not actual light. It's demon. So you turn off their clown demon, or their clown energy, and their genomes. It's not funny. It's not fun or funny to go to psychic warfare. Ever. And if I laugh ever about it, it's like I'm so grossed out by Star's psycho shadow astral self. Like I can't contain myself because it's so fucking humiliating for her. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get out of harm's way as she's chasing me, and I'm like laughing at how fucking horrible it is. That's reverence. Her attacking me and laughing, that's not reverence. So humor to like heal out of the horrifying situation, that's a gateway. I know. I here's the worst part of my brain right now is like knowing that they're gonna see this and that they're gonna all pretend that this didn't happen or didn't exist. So this is a huge problem. And their patterns will never change, and they'll never actually get any real power from God, and they'll never ever be able to do anything truly beautiful. God, Star won't even give me my money back from Brooke. So it's not like they're of high level mastery. So they have no real right to sit there and go, well, that didn't happen. That's just more, that's the denial demon. So turn on, not clown. Now this takes the psychotic ha 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 energy into deep severity, hell, reverence. Now, almost every single light worker on this planet is just a Slytherin right now. Until they've crossed a Hufflepuff Nexa. I feel like the Mystery School's like trying. They have to be my friend. So all these light workers, they're all ha ha ha, love and light. But it's not. It's not love and it's not light. Because they aren't in Tiferet yet. Through the root chakra. So the best way, you have to access the hell, like the hell. And then the severity, you don't have to be going through hell, but you have to access hell, like the dark, the to take it seriously when you're in like psycho, haha, funny space. And then you go anti-clown. So that they start waking up to the severity of their crimes. And then you gotta angel light lock them. And then clown on the other side. Leave clown behind. And people like the Dalai Lama, Elijah Wood, all these people. Every single one of them. Clown. Anybody who could look at my hunger strike and go, that wasn't important, is carrying the clown. Anybody who attacks in the astral is carrying clown. Anybody who could go, look at me as I starved to death, and then they look the other way and go, that didn't matter, is carrying clown. As I sat there and rotted for 2 months, waiting and rotting. And nobody cared. 2 months. Waiting for any humans. Clown. See that smirk on my face is a smirk of disbelief and disgust. It's not a gleeful smirk like, look what I'm getting away with.